Okay, so this video is going to be tactics women use to manipulate you. Starting off with number one, using your goals against you. Okay, now this one is very self-explanatory. If you're a very hard working man and focused to where you're putting your time in certain places for you to grow, they will manipulate you to stay at home with them or sacrifice your goals to be with them and get to the point to where you're putting their goals first and things in that nature, to where you're sabotaging your own life. Okay, number two, hiding their nature. Okay, they will hide their nature and never really tell you the truth of what they like, what they really want to do when nobody is watching, and they will never really tell you the truth. And when they tell you certain things, it's always to hide their true nature. For example, you ever been messing with a girl and she never really tells you what she really likes in the bedroom, or like she never really tells you that? It's a reason why they're always on social media saying they want the nice guy, and they saying they want the guy that is not the bad guy, not the bad boy, because it's like engraved in women to not tell you their nature, bro. To not tell you their nature, and they will go to the grave with hiding their nature. Okay, so they'll never really tell you, and there's certain guys that will fall for this. They'll see what the woman is saying and they will believe it, like, okay, this is what they're saying they want, so let me go ahead and be the nice guy. It's the manipulation tactic that's worked for years, and guys go ahead and develop into the men that they think women like, and it works. So they've come to a realization that they have power with their action and words, so why not lie about their nature? But once you become to the point of knowing the truth, they despise you, because it's like you're exposing the truth. You're one to tell men, hey, you know what I mean, that's not true, they like this, because this is what's gotten me results, this is what is getting me results. And then it's like it goes against their nature, because it's like you're exposing the truth, that it be propaganda, that they like what they can't have, that like they like what they friends have. You ever seen a woman be friends with a woman to where they talk about each other behind their back, but they hang out? There's a reason for this. They expose their nature by just telling you lies and doing the exact opposite. So whatever she tells you she doesn't like, she most likely likes. And whatever she tells you she likes, a lot of the times she doesn't like that for real.
Laughing, sharing stories, feeling like this could actually be something real. And then you slip up and tell her something about yourself that you thought was harmless, right? But her expression changes. Her interest fades, the date wraps up, and she never texts you back. What happened? Guys, there are secrets about you, no matter how honest you are, that you should never reveal. Not because you're lying, but because sharing them can change how she sees you forever. Today, I'm going to tell you the secrets you must keep to yourself if you want her to stay attracted and respect you. Let's get into it. Secret number one, your weaknesses, especially early on. Let's face it, everyone has weaknesses, and being vulnerable is often seen as a strength in the right context. But here's the deal, guys. Timing matters, especially early on in the relationship. Talking about your weaknesses can backfire spectacularly. Let me break it down for you. When you reveal your insecurities too soon, whether it's about your job, your self-esteem, or that you're not good enough, you're actually planting seeds of doubt in her mind. A woman might not even consciously realize it, but she'll start asking herself, can I rely on him when things get tough? Will he be strong enough to handle life's challenges, etc.? Guys, You need to demonstrate to her that you have the capacity to lead, to handle yourself, and to grow. Opening up about your weaknesses is like handing someone the keys to your emotional house. If she hasn't earned your trust yet, why give her full access to your most vulnerable thoughts? It's like a job interview. You wouldn't walk in and say, "Hey, by the way, I'm terrible in meeting deadlines." Would you? No. You'll focus on your strengths while subtly addressing areas where you're working to improve. The same logic applies in relationships. You want to earn her trust and respect before showing her the parts of you that still need work. Let's make this real. Imagine this. You're on a third date and the vibe is amazing. She's laughing at your jokes, making deep eye contact. It's all going perfectly. Then, in a moment of misplaced vulnerability, you tell her how your last girlfriend dumped you because you weren't ambitious enough. Suddenly, her perception of you will shift. Trust me, she'll start thinking, is he actually ambitious, or is he still figuring things out? Can I depend on him to be stable and confident when I need him? Why did she leave if he was that good? Even if she doesn't say it out loud, these thoughts will be running through her head. You've unintentionally triggered doubt, and it's hard to come back from something like that. Here's how to play it smart. So instead of saying, "I've been overlooked at work, and it really bothers me," reframe it as, "I'm working on positioning myself for better opportunities at work. I have a clear plan, and I'm confident about what's next." See the difference? You're acknowledging reality without coming across as defeated. It shows that you're aware of your challenges, but also capable of overcoming them. Here's a quick list of what not to reveal in those early stages. Complaining about your boss, your co-workers, or your job. Admitting that you're struggling to figure out what you want in life. Sharing your deepest fears about failing or being judged. Save these conversations for a time when the relationship is more established, when she's invested in you, and when you've built a foundation of trust. Secret number 2. How many women you've slept with. Let me be crystal clear. Telling her your number is a lose-lose situation, because no matter what you say, it's going to spark some kind of judgmental comparison. Women may tell you, "Oh, I don't really care about your past," but deep down they do. It's human nature. Your sexual history can make her question where she stands with you. Is she just another number? Or are you inexperienced and maybe not ready for someone like her? Either way, it'll stir up doubt. Let's break it down. Number 1. If your number is low, she might think, "Why hasn't he been with more women? Is there something wrong with him? Will I have to teach him everything?" Even if it's not true, the thought is already there.
As far as hey, I like this type of guy to where I want him nice. I want him to be super, super nice. It's all artificial, bro. Number 3, her expressing her feelings put for now after. So she says, "I love you," put for now. If she says, "You make me happy," put for now. If she says, "I want to be with you forever," put for now, because the true extent of her nature is to make you feel good about yourself, especially if she wants to have a future with you. Now, if she's putting you down, if she's sabotaging a relationship, which she will do eventually, you got to understand that relationships do have ups and downs, but her sabotaging the relationship to an extent, she just doesn't respect you. Allow that to sit with you. So the thing you got to realize and come to understand is, woman manipulation tactic is to make you feel good. So you got to have the logic to say "for now" in your head. "Oh, you're the best guy I ever met," for now. Not that you're not confident in yourself. You just know that it's all about her nature, and her nature is how she feels in the moment. Your truth is to give yourself the truth. Your nature is to know the truth. Get experience. Why do you think women go for older men? Experience. Why do you think they're confused when the older guy who gets experience go for the younger woman who has fertile eggs and not have all these bodies to where she can't be led because she's been misled by the men in her past. Why do you think they're confused on that? Because they don't know anything about men.
2. If your number is high, on the flip side, she might think, is he just using me? Or is he even capable of committing to one person? Or how do I stack up against all these other women? And let's not even get into the possibility of her imagining you with those women. It's a mental picture no one wants. There's another layer to this. Your number may trigger her insecurities. Let's say she's only been with 1 or 2 people, but you've been with 10 or even more. Even if she tries to act cool, she's now comparing herself to your past partners, wondering if she will measure up. Example, she might think, well, does he find me exciting enough? Does he wish I was more experienced? Or worse, is he judging me for my lack of experience? Guys, your number isn't a measure of your worth. It doesn't define your ability to be a great partner or how well you'll connect with someone emotionally or physically. But when you share it, you're inviting unnecessary scrutiny. Instead of focusing on the relationship you're building with her, you're dragging ghosts from your past. And trust me, it's not a good look. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, what if she asks me directly? Don't panic. Here's how to handle it. So instead of giving a number, say something like this. I've had experiences that taught me what I really want in relationships, and I'm focused on building something meaningful with you. You see what I did there? You're shifting the focus from the past to the present. You're letting her know that you've grown without actually giving her ammunition to judge or compare you in the future or right away.
They just know how to manipulate you and get your way. And then for the ones that is submissive and are submissive, then they will follow a man's lead. But you got to know the tactics, how to not get misled, and know the ins and out of the game. 4, she would try to make you feel bad for the decisions you make and stand down as a man. She would try to talk down on you to get you to do a certain action. And you never let her have this type of control over you. Okay, she never should have this type of control over you to where you're doing things and you're going places you never were meant to go. You're supposed to be on a straight line of success, and she got you going over here. Never do this stuff, bro. And honestly, these are good tactics, bro. These would get a man like once in his lifetime as he starts to branch out and want to, dig women out and have a good time with women. Because, bro, women are a heck of a drug of men wanting to have that affection that they don't really have. So one thing you gotta understand is women know this, and they know they can pick at this and use it against you. So they develop these manipulation tactics to get men at their feet. So when they hear a man is actually the one that is the prize, they get confused because they've had all these men at their feet as they were the prize. But they know when they get around that baller, when they get around a guy who's actually got stuff going for him, then it's more of like he's the guy.
Secret number 3, your biggest regrets or failures. All right, let's get real for a moment. I mean, we all have regrets, failures, moments where we wish we could take back. But here's the harsh truth. When you bring up your biggest regrets or failures too early in a relationship, you're not building a bridge of trust. You're creating a wall of doubt. It's not that you should hide who you are, but how and when you reveal certain parts of your life matters. Sharing your past mistakes at the wrong time will send the wrong message, and it can change how she sees you. Even if you're sharing your regrets in an effort to be open and honest, it can come across as a lack of ambition or an inability to take control of your life. Regrets are heavy. When you share them with someone, you're asking them to carry a part of that emotional weight. If she doesn't know you well enough or isn't emotionally invested yet, it will feel overwhelming. It's not the failure itself that's the problem. It's how you present it, you see. Women don't expect you to be perfect, but they do want to see resilience. So instead of saying, "I tried starting a business, but it completely failed and ruined me financially," try saying something like this: "I learned a lot from my first business attempt. It taught me how to manage risk, make smarter decisions. I'm now working on something even better." Can you tell the difference? In the first example, you sounded defeated. In the second, you sounded like a man who learns, adopts, and moves forward. That's the energy women are drawn to. When you tell her about your biggest failures or regrets before you've built any kind of solid connection, you risk her seeing you as someone who's stuck, unmotivated or unsure of himself. So, when is the right time to share? I hear you ask. Here's the golden rule. Share your failures or regrets when they're framed as lessons that showcase your growth. Wait until you've built a foundation of trust and some kind of connection. By then, she'll see these moments as part of what makes you stronger and not weaker. If she brings up a topic that touches on your regrets or failures, don't dodge the question, but don't dwell on it either. Keep it short and always end on a positive note. So for example, you could say something like, "Look, I've learned a lot from that experience, and it's helped me become the person I am today." This way, you're being honest without actually sounding defeated. You're showing her that you're the man who owns his story and uses it to move forward. Now, here's what you need to remember. Your regrets and failures don't define you. Your response to them does.
But you can't fall short of being the guy for the simple manipulation tactics that each woman will throw at you within your lifetime. So, number 5, man. Number 5 is going to be her simple sex appeal. Her sex appeal. It's going to be to the point where she's going to try to use the cat as a bargain, as the end goal, as the result. And I told y'all, like, if she's not adding on to the quality of your life, she doesn't deserve your labor. She doesn't deserve the world from you, because the cat is cool, but it's not a weapon against you. Okay, so when she tries to pull this tactic of using it as a weapon against you, you need to be the one intact to not allow it to prosper and form against you. Okay, because you are a man of God that represents God, whether or not you believe in him or not. And the cat is simply the tool to reproduce and have your family and your offspring. I think a lot of times we try to beat around the bush like that's not what it's for. Not that it's not doesn't have gravity and pull. We see it has pull, but it has no pull when she try to use it against you and pull you down. So it's like, if you are chasing her for a certain amount of time, bro, move on. You can find a cat within that time and be elevating in your life. So if she's not adding on to your life, doing the simple things, cooking, cleaning, being a space to where, not to where you're too comfortable, a space to where you're continuously growing towards the goals that you set as a man, and she helps you towards that set as a man. So never allow her to use her body against you, okay? And as much as you think you can be replaced, what she does have a lot of options, because the average 4 puts on makeup and bumps up to like an 8, and that's another manipulation tactic. Oh my God, he's saying makeup. Bro, it's the fact that it is appearance manipulation. Just like, someone putting on a facade like they have money, but they don't have money. It's all manipulation, right? So women will use these certain tactics of manipulation to get you to invest your love into them, which is taken away from your purpose and driven in towards your goals. And it's not that you can't love, you gotta be considerate. It's not that you shouldn't be a nice guy. It's the fact you have to be considerate over a nice guy, because the nice guy gets used and tossed to the side and really watches from the side. And also, he gets manipulated into thinking that being a nice guy is cool, which is projected onto you to the masses, to where, hey, we're going to lie about our nature. Whole time she's making one guy wait, manipulating this guy to say, hey, you got to take me on all these dates, while this guy over here gets it on the first link and he's clapping them cheeks, dog. I'm trying to give you the truth to save your time, to show you your time is valuable, when they manipulate you that as in your time isn't valuable. If you're sitting around her all day and she's not saying, you know, you don't got work today, I didn't see you doing this today, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's not really the woman to push you towards your goals, bro. Oh, another manipulation tactic. I don't like men with options. I don't like men who has the bops. It's all a lie, bro. It's all a lie. They always go for the guy who's cheating and cheating on them, rather than the guy that is settling and being with them. So you got to understand, having options is your best friend. Even if you're not even exploiting your options, you still know you have options, and she knows you have options.
Secret number 4, your past relationships in detail. It might seem harmless to share details about your exes or drama you went through, but trust me, it's a recipe for disaster. The truth is, the more you talk about your past relationships, the less you'll focus on building a future with you. When you share too much about your exes, you're unintentionally planting seeds of insecurity and skepticism in her mind. Think about it. When you talk about how crazy your ex was, she wonders, what did he do to make her act this way? I actually have a whole video on it. I'll link it in the video description. When you talk about how much you loved your ex, she thinks, does he still have feelings for her? When you talk about the fights you used to have, she fears, is he going to bring that same energy into this relationship? Even if your intention is to show her that you're being honest or open, it will backfire. Imagine that she asks you, so how did your last relationship end? You think it's a great opportunity to bond, so you dive into a detailed story about how your ex cheated on you, how you feel betrayed, and how it shattered your trust. What do you think she's hearing? He has trust issues. He's not over what happened. Is he going to be suspicious of me because of some girl who did him in? The vibe will shift suddenly. She's not as interested as she was 5 minutes ago. Why? Because she's seeing you as someone carrying baggage, not someone ready for a fresh start. I tell you, when you overshare about past relationships, she's not going to be listening. She'll be analyzing. If you sound bitter, she'll think you haven't healed. If you speak too fondly of your ex, she'll wonder if you're still emotionally attached to her and have some feelings. If you share intimate details, she'll worry about whether you'll keep her secrets in the future when it's her turn, or when you guys are no longer together. Here's a reality check. No woman wants to feel like she's in competition with ghosts from your past. And I've said this already. So if you ever find yourself in a situation, this is a better way to handle it. Okay, I say keep it vague. Say as little as possible. I say shift the focus. Follow up with something like, but that relationship taught me a lot about what I want and how to build something meaningful. And that's what I'm focused on right now. Avoid emotional traps. Don't badmouth your ex, even if she hurt you. It makes you look petty and stuck in the past. Instead, take the high road and keep the discussion respectful. There are certain things you should never say about your past relationships, no matter how hard your current woman tries. Okay? Things like how amazing the sex was, instant turn-off unnecessary, how much you miss certain things about your ex. It makes her feel second best. Any comparison to her. I mean, even if you're saying she's better, it's still awkward. Details about your ex's flaws and mistakes. It makes you look like you're gossiping. Less is more when it comes to talking about your exes. And the final one.
Okay. Oh, I don't like a guy who's too flashy. but you love status. You make your decisions off what your friends think and whether or not how I look in front of other people. So if you see this woman who, oh, I have traditional values, as far as this, we appreciate traditional values as men, but I'm talking about the woman who needs to make it known to the world and to you immediately that, oh, I don't go for guys who's flashy and stat. She makes her decisions on status. How her friends view you matters more than you view certain situations. That's why she'll take her friend's situation over you, because women have this certain pack amongst them to where they care what each other think so much that it alters their decisions. That's why they always say single women will always influence a woman in a happy relationship, because misery does love company. So you got to understand that you have to be over this and see the tactics for what it is, and understand that us as men have a pack amongst us to where we know the truth, and because we know our truth. We've done the inner work of being a better us and being a better you, to where we are improving in our life, to where we know the games for what it is, because we're playing the game of winning, the game of the matrix, winning the game of conquering our old self where we couldn't do what we were doing now. So when they try to treat us less than that, we know that they are not for us. So you got to be able to move on from these situations that's not for you, okay? And these would be the manipulation tactics that we use against you.
Secret number 5, your financial struggles. All right, so it's a sensitive topic, and for good reason. Your finances, whether you're thriving, surviving, or struggling, play a big role in how you're perceived in your relationship. There's a mistake you guys make, spilling every detail about your financial struggles too soon. Let me tell you right now, this can be a major turn-off, especially in the early stages of dating. Here's the reality. Women are naturally wired to seek stability in a partner. That's the first thing they're looking out for. It's not about being materialistic. It's about feeling secure, wanting to know that he can take care of you. When you openly share that you're drowning in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, or struggling to make ends meet, you're sending a signal that you might not be able to provide that stability that she's looking for. And before you jump to conclusions, no, I'm not saying that you need to be a millionaire to date, but the way you present your financial situation matters. If she senses that you're overwhelmed by your struggles, or lack some kind of a plan to improve your situation, guess what? She's going to question whether you're actually someone that she can build a future with. And you can't blame her. When you share your financial struggles too early, she might start thinking, in the end, will I be the one taking care of him? Is he responsible with money? Or will this be a problem later? Does he have a plan to get out of this situation? Or he's just hoping it'll fix itself? Even if she doesn't say these things out loud, they're likely running through her mind. And once that doubt creeps in, it will be hard to undo. Here's a quick list of what you should never do when discussing finances early in any relationship. Okay, don't complain. Avoid making it sound like the world is against you. Complaining makes you look weak. Don't play the victim. Talking about how unfair life is makes you come across as weak and unambitious. Don't ask for sympathy. She's not your therapist. Keep the conversation focused on solutions and not pity. Remember, women are attracted to men who are resourceful and resilient, not men who seem to be overwhelmed or stuck. You don't have to lie or pretend to be something you're not. The key is to focus on the progress you're making rather than the struggles you're facing. For example, if you're working on paying off debts, you could say something like, well, I've been really disciplined about saving and managing my finances lately. It feels great to be in control of my money and work towards some long-term goals. See how that shifts the narrative? Instead of focusing on the problem, you're highlighting your responsibility and ambition to get rid of it. Here's the bottom line, guys. Sharing too much too soon will cost you her respect, attraction, and interest.
So make sure you like and make sure you comment and make sure you subscribe. I'm gone, man.